right here. Exhibition of 2, 3 or 4 chambered and paired appendages which may be fins or limbs. So paired appendages are presented. Those are fins or limbs, and kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, right. So these are the general characters of vertebrates, and vertebrates again divided into different types of divisions and classes. So division agnatha. So vertebrate are divided into two main divisions, agnatha and gnathostomata. Agnatha without jaws, gnathostomata with jaws, jawed organisms. So agnatha consists with class cyclostomata. So cyclo means cyclo means round shape, and stomata means mouth. Round shape mouth is presented. So whenever jaws are absent, obviously there is round shape mouth only. So having sucking and circular mouth without jaws. So circular mouth organisms without jaws, and live as ectoparasites on some of the fishes, living as ectoparasites on some of the fishes, and scavengers also. Devoid of scales. Scales are not presented. No paired fins. Paired fins are absent. Cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous, right, not bony. Cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous. Marine habit, but migrates to fresh water for spawning and die after spawning. So exhibition of migration from marine water to fresh water. For what purpose? For the purpose of spawning, releasing of eggs, and after releasing of eggs, those are dies in the adults are dies in the fresh water, and young ones again return back to marine water, right. So larva returns to the ocean after metamorphosis, this here given, right. So examples, petromyzan and mixin. So lampreys and hagfishes. Lampreys are the examples for petromyzan, and hagfishes example is mixin, right. So this is regarding about cyclostomata, and division gnathostomata. So the vertebrates divided into two divisions, agnatha and gnathostomata. Agnatha means without jaws, gnathostomata with jaws. So gnathostomata. So superclass gnathostomata again divided into two superclasses, superclass Pisces and superclass tetrapods. Superclass Pisces. So Pisces again there is two different classes majorly, that is Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. So Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, what is the major difference? Chondrichthyes body made up of with cartilaginous endoskeleton, and Osteichthyes bony endoskeleton. There is a major difference. And having cartilaginous endoskeleton, ventrally mouth located, notochord persists throughout the life, and gill slits are separate and without operculum. Skin has placoid scales. Jaws contain teeth with or modified placoid scales, mostly predaceous. Swim bladder is absent. Heart is two chambered. Some of them contain electrical organs, and some possesses poisonous sting, poikilotherms, and dioecious, and sexually dimorphic, and male pelvic fin bears claspers, and fertilization is internal, and many of them oviparous. Examples, Tarpedo, Trigon and Scoliodon. Just you can go through the differences between Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, most of the important from this topic, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes with examples. So here see, Chondrichthyes having cartilaginous endoskeleton, Osteichthyes bony endoskeleton. Mouth is ventrally in Chondrichthyes. In Osteichthyes, mouth is there is terminal mouth. Notochord persists throughout the life in Chondrichthyes. That is throughout the life the notochord is present. That is one of the unique character. And gill slits are separate without operculum. So there in Osteichthyes operculum is presented. Gill slits is covered by operculum. Skin has placoid scales in Chondrichthyes. Cycloid, ctenoid, gynoid, remaining all the scales presented in Osteichthyes. Jaws contain teeth with or modified placoid scales, right? Mostly predaceous. These are predaceous organisms, so hunters. Swim bladder is absent, and in Osteichthyes swim bladder is present. So whenever in Chondrichthyes swim bladder is absent, so that only continuous swimming, exhibition of continuous swimming. Heart is two chambered. So they are also same. Heart is two chambered with one auricle and one ventricle. And some of them contain electrical organs and torpedo. Some possesses poisonous sting. So that is Trigon is the examples. So this is electric ray, and this one is stingray. Trigon is stingray. Poikilotherms. So all all Pisces are poikilothems only, cold-blooded organisms, dioecious, sexes are separate, unisexual, sexually dimorphic, and male pelvic fins bears claspers. So claspers are absent in Ostectes. So males only consist with claspers for holding of females at the time of reproduction. And fertilization in interlineal Contractis, and fertilization is external in Ostectes, and Contractis viviparous and Ostectes viviparous, right? Examples: torpedo, trigon, scoliodon, Sorokova, Indian shark, right? So Ostectes is given included both marine and freshwater only. So these are Contractis are only marine, and bony endoskeleton, mouth is usually terminal. 4 pairs of gills is covered by operculum. There, how many pairs? 5 to 6 pairs. Skin has cycloid tenoid scales, so that is also important. There, Contractis placoid scales, and air bladder is present for buoyancy. So for floating on the water, the air bladder is present, and heart is two-chambered heart. So heart is two-chambered heart. Obviously, cold-blooded animals, dioecious, sexes are separate, sexually monomorphic. And fertilization is external fertilization, mostly oviparous, and development is indirect development, right? So hippocampus, labiorohita, and katla beta. Hippocampus, so male has brood pouch, seahorse, and labiorohita rohu, katla, and beta splendens, that is fighting fish, right? You can go through more examples of NCERT also. And superclass Pisces, and another superclass is Tetrapoda. Tetrapoda are divided into again classes: Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. So class Amphibia can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats. Most of them have 2 pairs of limbs, right? So the amphibians are able to dual life, Amphibia and dual life. They can able to live in aquatic and terrestrial also. Most of them have 2 pairs of limbs, and body divisible into head and trunk. Neck is absent. Skin moist without scales. So moist skin is the most important, and Amphibia skin covered without scales, right? And Pisces skin covered by scales. And tympanum represents the ear for audible, and cloaca is the common chamber where elementary, urinary, and reproductive tract opens. Cloaca common chamber is presented, digestive system and excretory system and reproductive system. Respiration takes place by the gills, lungs, or skin. So what is the major respiratory organ? Skin, right? And heart is 3-chambered. 3-chambered heart is presented, 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. And cold-blooded organisms, these are also poikilothems, cold-blooded organisms. Sexes are separate in amphibians, sexual dimorphism, and fertilization is external and requires water. So fertilization takes place in the water only. External fertilization, and oviparous, these are oviparous and indirect development. So larva, exhibition of larva. So frog larva name, tadpole larva, right? And examples Bufo and Rana and Hyla, right? And whatever the examples given in NCERT, and go through the NCERT examples also. Next class, Reptilia. Repere means creeping or crawling mode of locomotion. That type of the organisms are called Reptilia. Body has dry and conified skin, and epidermal scales are skewed. So most important, in Amphibia, skin is smooth without scales, and in Reptilia, body has dry and conified skin, and epidermal scales are skewed. Tympanum represents ear, and limbs when present are 2 pairs of limbs are presented, and mostly 3-chambered heart, but 4-chambered heart in crocodiles. So all reptilia 3-chambered heart, and crocodiles 4-chambered heart, except crocodiles. Snakes and lizards shed scales as skin cast, and shedding of the skin, so removing of old skin and getting of new skin is called skin casting, right? So snakes and lizards shed scales as skin cast, and these are reptilia, also poikilothems, cold-blooded organisms, and sexes are separate. So sexes are separate. These are dioecious, unisexuals. Fertilization is internal fertilization. Reptilia, aves, and mammals internal fertilization only, right? Amphibians external fertilization. And oviparous, and these are oviparous, laying eggs and direct development. There is no indirect development. Reptilia, aves, and mammals, right? Examples: testudo, naza, vipera, and calotis. Testudo, tortoise, naza. There is king cobra, and vipera, pit viper, and calotis. There is garden lizard, and chameleon. So there is free lizard also, right? So there is important points in reptilia: creeping or crawling mode, and body has dry and